Thank you, Chantal. And thank you for birthing this extraordinary evening. There are so many amazing faces and bright eyes in the audience. I'm really honored to be a part of this. I want to take you on a journey. And first, actually, before I do that, I want to share my beautiful Threads necklace. You can all purchase this later if you like it. Thank you, ladies. How can I follow Dominique? Good Lord. Thank you. You are the next Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Thank you. You speak the truth, girl. So I want to take you on a little journey, a story, a heroine's journey, as Sarah took us on, and share a little bit about my own path and journey. And at the end, we'll get to the GoLite and the business and all of that. Imagine if, let's start with once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a little girl in pigtails who lived in a little town in New Jersey and who loved climbing trees, and it was a tomboy of great repute and played soccer and softball and loved life. And she was in a troubled family, working class family that struggled every day just to pay the bills, and that turmoil, that lack of money always led to two good people who loved each other not being very kind to one another, and the disintegration of their marriage and the reliance on the only thing they thought they could rely on, which was alcohol. And that led to alcoholic parents and a mother who got very sick from too much alcohol and too much cigarettes. And when this little girl turned 13, her mother died of cancer. And the father was in great despair and wandered off the reservation and basically really didn't know what to do with himself. So there are a lot of ways that people who are children of alcoholics respond. One common way is they check out or they become rebellious, and one way is they become complete perfectionists about life. Everything they do has to be to meet a certain standard that will gain them the attention and the love that they think they missed out on because of their alcoholic parents. So this little girl, who happens to be me, took everything that she loved in life and turned it into being the best, whatever that meant. So this turned into perfectionist on steroids. Little girl from New Jersey, little poor girl from New Jersey who got herself into Princeton, first child in my family to graduate from college, and that turned into a fellowship to Oxford, and that turned into Harvard Business School and Harvard Kennedy School, and I was jumping through every masculine hoop put in front of me. Second degree black belt, performed and sang in musicals and sang in 3 different groups at Princeton, you name it, it was on the list. And I, in the midst of that, felt something was missing. What is missing here? But could never articulate that. That translated into Harvard Business School, turned into working at Goldman Sachs on Wall Street as an investment banker. That turned into starting a private school with a friend that was for at-risk kids and giving them experiential education because they weren't performing well in the traditional environment. There was always kind of this red thread throughout it that said, I want to fix something. I want to solve the world's problems, but I don't know how to do that. But I also want to be loved and adored, so I'm going to be good. I'm going to be perfect. That turned into finding a man, a beautiful man, a very heart-filled man, and falling in love with him and having this fairy tale wedding. And so we loved being outdoors, and we spent many hours and weeks outdoors climbing mountains and hiking. And we realized through that there was a need for GoLite and a need for very lightweight technical gear, and that led to us founding a company, which of course we did in a very or at least I did in a very perfectionist way, and was working 80, 90-hour weeks, and we were seeing great success, and we had hundreds of articles and journals around the world, and we were sold in 23 countries, and we were, this rocket ship took off, and we were, it was just one more example of how perfect my life was. And so I got to the age of 35, and I'd been married to my husband actually since the time I was 25, and we kind of looked at each other. He's Harvard Business School and Princeton too. So he said, I think we ought to get on with this making a baby thing. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's try to do that. So we had sex the next time the opportunity came available. We had sex. And It was good. And first try, I swear to God, we got pregnant. Okay, you know, I'm feeling good about myself here, right? I keep just racking up the accomplishments. And so we get to about 10, 11 weeks, and we see the baby's heartbeat, and life's good, you know, feeling good about myself. Got to 12 weeks, and I miscarried. And after seeing the baby's heartbeat, which is very, very painful, I know there's women in the audience who have gone through this. And, okay, so the doctor said, don't worry about it. Happens 20% of the time. Just try again. So 3 months later, single try, got pregnant again. 10 weeks, I miscarried. Went through another round of that. Got pregnant again. Miscarried at 8 weeks. Got pregnant again. Miscarried at 6 weeks. Got pregnant again. Miscarried at 4 weeks. And wow, something's not right here. This is not a perfect life. What's going on here? I don't know. So we started working with fertility doctors, and that led to IVF. So I was poking myself with needles every day, and I had a big, my entire belly was one big bruise, and we went through an IVF round. No success. We went through a second IVF round, 20 pounds later, 20 pounds heavier. That didn't work. Third one, my husband's traveling. We'd go through the IVF round. My life is, everything is up in the air. I don't know who I am and what I'm meant to learn from this horrible experience. And I'm like, it's gotta be now, right? I'm not gonna do more than 3 IVFs. It's been terrible. So get the call from the doctor's office. We're not pregnant. So imagine yourself sitting in a room. I was in the guest room, actually. I turned on the most sappy women's chick flick that I could find, and a bottle of white wine in this hand and a bottle of whipped cream in this hand, and I spent the next 2 hours going, it really didn't solve the problem. And so I spent the next 3 years, really, on a journey of reintegration of myself and questioning everything that I had built up, this house of cards that I'd built up around my life. And I did the masculine thing first, which is I did yoga, and then I did dance, and then I did, I did Mayan massage, and then I went to the Tulum, I went to all of the Mayan goddess places where I could leave offerings, and I did lots of prayer, and I added singing back to my life, and I was on it. But we weren't having success still, and it wasn't until I quieted myself and recognized that my divine feminine was knocking in the basement door and said, you know, your life is so out of balance. You have lost someone. You left her behind sometime around the age of 5. And I spent a long time trying to unravel this house, this thing that I had created. So one amazing memory I have, a great spiritual teacher that I came to in this process was a woman named Randine Lewis, who believes that all women are fertile, whether we're having fertility troubles or not. The Way of the Fertile Soul, marvelous book. And I went to this wonderful fertility retreat among several that I went to, and we had just done this meditation, and we're lying around in a circle, and I had spent the afternoon telling her that all the things that I still had to do, like maybe I should just wear more dresses, that'll make me more feminine, right? And articulated 5 or 6 things that I was going to do to be more feminine, to reclaim my divine feminine. And she's a shaman, and she came around the circle and said something to tell, channeled from source, brought from God to the person who needed to hear it. And she leaned down to me and she said, you already have all you need. You have all you need. And I just started bawling because I was an integrated person. I just needed to remember her. I needed to know that she was always there with me, and I needed to call forth that divine power, that divine feminine power that was always there. So there's a happy ending to this. After these many efforts, and mostly at the end of getting quiet, this was the result. So his name is George, and he's the light of my life and my husband's life. And I'm so filled with joy every moment that I'm with him. And I bring this story to you because Earth, our planet, our civilization, our biosphere, our ecosystem is in the middle of a reintegration. We have been fragmented for so long. There has been no understanding and integration of the divine feminine, how we act in the world, how we represent ourselves in positions of power, on boards, in companies, and that reintegration has to happen for us to go into a prosperous future together. Now, I'm proud of all the things that I have in my way of being in the world that are masculine, because we all have masculine and feminine traits, and I now own those and love those, but I use it like a toolbox. If I need to be masculine in that moment and use a heavy handshake, I'm going to do that. If that gives that person confidence that we can work together well, I'm going to do that. But I also live in a place where my divine feminine is my rock, how I am in the world. And we need to work together, men and women, to reintegrate ourselves. Reintegration is the only way for us to emerge into this new economy. Now, the company that we founded was founded on a set of core beliefs about honesty and about being light in the world and having a connection to nature and having a small impact on the environment as you can, and being good to your employees and good to the community. And we were really proud to become a certified B Corporation in 2008. We actually have another certified B Corporation here tonight, and that's Bhakti Chai. They're an awesome company. And certified B corporations are are acting in the world in a way that is integrated. They understand that you have to be good to your community and good to your employees, and treat the earth as if we care what happens in seven generations. And when you do that, you create companies that create lasting jobs and vibrant communities and a bold new economy that is going to be a place that we're all going to want to live and we're going to want our grandchildren to live in. There's over 1,000 certified B corporations around the world, and so if you don't know who they are, go to bcorporation.net and find out, because they're the companies you want to support if you know that we need to find integration between masculine and feminine ways of being in the world. And yes, so I guess I would leave you with the question for yourself: what parts of yourself have been fragmented over time that need reintegration? What parts of relationships that you have need reintegration? What parts of relationships that you have in your business realm are there that need reintegration, so that we can emerge and boldly claim the vibrant future that we all deserve?